Hello, YouTube. This is BUB'S Comics coming at you live with the No Faces Comic Chat. With me, as always, never misses a week, never misses a show. I have with me the great, the one, the only DS Comics. Say hello, DS.
Everybody, do your homework.
That's the one. DS isn't going to make it tonight. We're hoping his internet frees up for him during this hour. But if not, we'll deal with it. But truly with me as always, except when he can't make it either, we have Roger, aka Metarog. Welcome to the show, Metarog, and say hello.
Greetings, everyone. May the 4th be with you. Well, it is with us, actually. Roger.
Nice. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. And who do we have in the chat here? We got Unruly Simeon's already here. We got Gretzky 9966. We got Metarog. Who keeps letting this guy in? We got Area 51. Welcome, Area 51. Mac Daddy Austin. We got From Heroes to Icon, welcoming everybody to the 4th, not of July, but of May. We got Werewolf by Lunchtime. I was going to say, I bet it's the 5th over there already. Sorry we're late for you there, buddy. We got what live streams yet to show up in my feed? What? I don't know why. I had it all set up. Hey, I set this thing up early. It was ready to go yesterday for the first time on a Sunday. I had it uploaded. Can't beat that.
Yeah, it came up on mine. But YouTube has done that here and again. A lot of times things just pop up on me. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah,
it happens. Yeah. But thankfully we're all running, and that's all you can ask for. Everybody knows what time we're here. It's like clockwork, 7 p.m. Eastern time every Monday. You can set your clock by it. If you don't mind being 5 minutes late, that'd be helpful. Well, we got comics, mags, music, comic. I always feel like there should be an extra S in there, but comic mag musings, we'll take it. We got Woody Warren in the house. Hello, and always nice to have a good Woody in the house. Got Jambo Comics. Welcome. May the 4th be with you, he says, and also with you. Great to have you all. Very, very proud that you could all make it to join us on this, our big Starverse episode. We're going to start the party off right. Yes, we are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Good to have everybody. So, Roger, what do you say? Do you remember the name of our team tonight? I'm sorry I don't have it to pull up there for you.
Yeah, the Lightsaber Swingers.
Yeah, what'd you think about that?
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I like it. I don't have a lightsaber to swing, but I mean, I like the idea behind it.
You don't have one?
No, I'm not a big Star Wars guy. Let's just put it that way. You know, I'm more of a pure science fiction guy, but I enjoy the movies. Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're going to let Roger go. If anybody, if anyone's a Star Wars fan out there and wants to join us in the chat, hit me up on Instagram, and we got extra spaces. We had Steve.
That's rough in here today. Man.
Ridiculous. Steve was going to be on tonight again, but
Steve.
Steve Whiting, but he couldn't make it, I guess, because he's not here. I don't know.
Maybe he'll come by in a little bit.
Enjoyed your review today. Did you do a review today, Roger?
You did on those cases.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Congratulations. Thank you. What?
Congratulate yourself, man.
I'm a little confused.
What?
What? All right. Well, thank you, Alex, for that. I enjoyed that review myself. I enjoyed making it. So good to have you here as well. Immortal Biggie Shack's in the house. Yo, Biggie, what's up? And Hero and the kid supporting us as well. I wonder if it's the hero or the kid. Just have to find out. Stay tuned. We probably still won't know. Gray Man says, hey, peeps. Hey, Gray Man. Again, honestly and seriously, if anybody wants to hit me up on Instagram at BUB'S Comics, that makes sense, right? No apostrophe, no space. And you want a link to join us on the show tonight, I may send the link. You can definitely send the request. And I may send the link. So because DS couldn't make it, Steve couldn't make it, so it's just me and Roger. And really, you'd be doing Roger a favor.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's good. It's good that you're self-actualized. You know,
Absolutely.
It's so refreshing. You know, because some people, you know, they have this shell of proudness around them, of pride, but no, not you. You, the force is with you today, my son.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and also with you. And so we'll jump right in. This one was in the thumbnail. This is them their Bounty Hunters, Star Wars Bounty Hunters #1. It is the care variant, and not in today's like caring like heart emojis or anything like that. But KAARE. So them their Boba Fett, and this one. I like this one. This is kind of a previews, not kind of. It is a free previews, but I just loved that. I want to say it's Cassidy. It looks like John Cassidy to me. So I'm going to go unless I'm wrong, and someone will have to tell me that. It's either Cassidy or Dodson, but I think it's Cassidy. And it's got.
I don't think that doesn't look like Terry Dodson to me.
Oh, she looked a little bit, but I think it's Cassidy.
A little too much glare off the hair there.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Luke, Vader, and Leia, a nice happy family we've got going on there. Sorry for the spoilers.
Oh man,
the old Care Bear variant is what we've got there. Nice, we appreciate that. Let's see. I see those Star Wars books aren't in your Gator case. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Now this one. I did have in a Gator case. I posted on Instagram today. It was the first book I tried to put in one. So I liked how that looked. The Gator cases don't have any way to hang them. So I really liked them, but without a way to hang it, this is going to stay. And this is so easy to swap out too, you know. Mm-hmm. Very, very convenient, as they say. I don't know if anyone actually says that.
But you had that bracket that you can use to put it up, right? You have
yes, absolutely. I can hang it via bracket, but it still takes. I mean, I'm not trying to act like I can't handle a screwdriver, but it still takes a minute to get them out. You know?
Yeah, sure.
So he says, "I'm helping 36. I assume Chamber Studios. See." Yep. I can get it from the number right now, but I would like to come on someday, Bub. Sounds good, Biggie Shack. I'd be happy to have you. And honestly, as you know, this is a no faces chat. So that would be really cool because I don't think anyone's had the pleasure of hearing you without seeing you. And I'm sure we'd all like that. Unruly Simeon. We've got he's from Ohio. I got to give it to him. Unruly Simeon is still here. We're glad. Bad Dad 320's in the house. Boy, it's great. Thank you guys for all being here. I know there's a lot of Star Wars stuff going on. There's a lot of just great stuff going on in the community right now. So thank you all for being here. I knew this was going to be kind of a weird night with the Star Wars tie-in and everything, but I also knew what a huge Star Wars fan Roger was. So I wanted to make sure that we got him on the show to enjoy this. So thank you so much, Roger, for being here, and Roger as well.
Roger.
All right, what do you got to show us there? It looks like you've got some big wieners there in the back.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this in one of my videos last week. We did that auction benefit for OMG Chris, who passed away a couple weeks ago, and this lot of Star Wars treasuries, and this is actually two. I had to do a kind of I had to put these together because I didn't have any treasury bags, so I kind of retrofitted it here. So I made note on the auction that I really liked these because these two actually complete the first part, of the saga that was reprinted in the normal comics, and this reprints these two. And I just mentioned that in the auction it went for like $80 some, and I was like, I'm not going to pay that for them. And then it shows up on my
price for that.
Yeah, they're beautiful, by the way, absolutely gorgeous. I'll tell you about it in a minute. And they show up in my door, and so one of the chat members, who I know who it is, but I don't have permission to say who it is, but just gifted it to me. So I'm very blessed. Let me tell you, these are beautiful, as you can see, Bub. And I think for a movie that at the scope of Star Wars, that the treasuries is the perfect format for it.
Oh,
because
yeah.
you get to see all the little details, especially for an older guy like me. The vision, kind of gets away from you a little bit. Boy, it's so beautiful to read this, so easy. Again, I'm very blessed, and I enjoyed it to death, Bub. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but that doesn't mean I don't appreciate it for what it is in the comics, and they are just gorgeous.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing those. We also have, here's my copy of the Treasury for number 2. I'm still missing number 1. I've seen it for sale a couple of times, but man, does it go for some coin.
Yeah.
Even in low grade. I put them in these life-size top loaders, and they're not exactly the right fit, but they're close.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
There's the back there. I put them in a bag and a life-size top loader.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, this one has this bag backing here. The scene there when they swung, and then you have the inlay here of the battle between Vader and Obi-Wan.
That's awesome.
This is great stuff. I mean,
well, if you ever find a second one of those, let me know. It's the one.
Yeah, certainly.
Very, very cool. Love it. We've got Adrian's in the house, of course. Freshly Lightsaber might come up. Oh my, good grief. We got Comic Jabroni. Comic Jabroni in the house. Hey, he's on deployment. Which is he's doing his part, probably more than his part at this point. When you see, all right, we don't get controversial on this show unless it's DS talking about Mylars, but or you complain about Mylars. Roger complains about graded comics, and Richard sit here calmly and never say a word, regardless, because I'm always very, very peace.
You're demure to a fault. Yeah,
soothing and making sure everybody's just feeling real good. But anyway, he's on deployment, and I have to say, although I believe that you should have respect for anyone who chooses to serve, but I've known some people who didn't exactly choose to serve, so and yet served. So, and that's great. But I really do have a special place in my heart for those people who choose to make it a career. I think that for me, that is just absolutely a very selfless act, and I love that. So I love it when guys choose to go career. I have a lot of good friends that have gone career, and they just, it's amazing, because it's one of the hardest things, it seems to me, to go career, is that you have to be likable, because it seems like the people that the longer you stay in the military, in any of the branches that I've seen, the less people will like you naturally, because you raise up, you gain rank, you make friends and enemies anywhere you go naturally. But it seems like the people with the best personalities are able to last going career, because that's a tough bunch of people. A lot of different personalities are all in the military. So if you can go career, you're usually a pretty liked and pretty decent person, and in some cases the exact opposite, I'm sure. We're gonna say Jabroni's one of those highly liked people.
Oh yeah, Jabroni is. Come on, who doesn't love Jabroni? Come on.
I don't know.
This is a super lovable guy with his
I think so.
whiskey, and he has his family involved, and what a great guy, man. And thank you for your service, buddy. I mean, these are the heroes here that sometimes they're unsung, but he has to leave his family, goes for months at a time. That's tough. For me, that would be really tough. So you got my support 100%.
Absolutely. Mine as well. About the only I'll stay out of that. Alex the Comic Order is in here. Bad Dad, best Silver Age collection I've ever seen. How are you? Good people in the chat tonight. Thank you all for being here. So here was the one.
True.
Yeah, I know.
That's true. If you've seen that little loft he has, oh man.
I know. I see all those books hung like halfway upside down on the wall. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Like, Morris, invite me to dinner, man.
Yeah, really.
I just want to I just want to smell them. That's it. Just let me want to touch them. Just let me be in the aura of them.
That can't be good, Roger.
Well, it probably isn't. But it probably isn't. But when you see that, you're like, let me pick up my jaw. Oh, where is it? Oh, there it is.
I'm going to show off a quattro of books here. Hold on. Let's see if I can figure out how. All right, here we go. So the first book I'm going to show, this is the what I call the Phil Noto lot. This was one of the books that convinced me to flip books. So this book means a lot to me. And the reason for that is because when I first was collecting, someone said, do you have a Books A Million near you? Or what was that other one? A Second and Charles, right?
Second and Charles, yeah.
Do you have a Second and Charles? I was like, no, I don't have a Second and Charles. And they said, well, do you have a Books A Million? I was like, yeah, I have a Books A Million. They're like, well, they work with Second and Charles, and they are the ones that put stuff up before it goes to Second and Charles. So you might get lucky. I said, really? Yeah. So I checked them out, and sure enough, they had these, what they call, BAM variants or Books A Million variants, and they had some Second and Charles variants too. So this was, I don't think this is BAM exclusive, this one in particular, but some of them are. And so this Phil Noto book, he did the art on this, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I thought it was awesome, super cool. And then I found out that there was a whole run of covers like this, and I was able to pretty much pick all of them up from Books A Million. And when I found this book in there, they had like 5 of them. So I bought them all because they were $1 a piece.
Nice.
And then I went to my local LCS, who's no longer in business, and stories like this remind you why.
Yeah.
Or at least illuminate to that. I went there and sold them to him for $20 a piece, not counting the one I kept.
Wow.
And then he put them on sale for like $30 a piece. So, yep. So anyway, so this was the book that started my short-lived flipping career.
I remember you doing that. Yep.
So good stuff. Guess my Hans crush. Yeah. Well, we'll move it in to this one here. This is the and you notice these are in different titles. So this was a straight Star Wars book, and then this was the Darth Vader variant for number 4. Of course, that's Luke. But what's really nice is that in the background, they also included multiple supporting characters. So here you have Boba Fett and Chewbacca. And then here you had Luke with R2 and a Yoda. And then here you have Princess Leia. Very pretty. Phil Noto variant. One of my favorite things about this one is that, and here we are on Star Wars night, and I'm going to be knocking Leia. I'm not knocking Leia too hard, although, well, we'll leave that where it is. But I never thought Princess Leia was that pretty, even when I was a kid. Yes, Rob, this is live.
I'm just answering him in the chat here. Yes, we are live, Rob. No one dead here. Just we're all live.
So but I thought that this picture of Leia is the best one that I've seen, because it perfectly captures how really not over the top attractive she was. I never found her to be like, oh my gosh, like drop dead gorgeous. She was just cute, She was cute. And a lot of times when you see Leia in print form, they really make her look just amazing and voluptuous and just a total knockout, And to me, she wasn't that. She was more like a girl next door kind of cute. So Carrie Fisher or Leia, either one doesn't matter to me.
The actress or the character, take your pick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going more for with Leia more specifically.
Alex might have a bone to pick with you.
What? You say she wasn't? No, I said she was pretty. I said she was pretty, but she wasn't like beautiful or gorgeous.
Not a knockout. Yeah,
she wasn't a knockout. I mean, she was the only girl. Like I remember when I went to summer camp one time, or 2 times actually, with I was so bad I had to repeat it, right? So I went to summer camp one time, and it was an all-boy camp, and then like a few miles down the road in a secret location, which several of us found early on, there was an all-girls camp. Right. And it was run by the same organization. And the point is that we would have one day a year, the first day, there were about 3 times when the 2 camps would get together to meet. Right. So that first day that we all got to meet each other was about 2 weeks into the camp season. and we finally met the girls. And I'm telling you, every one of them was a knockout. I look back at those pictures, and I tell you, they weren't all knockouts. but you've been deprived of looking at a girl for 2 weeks. They all start looking a whole lot better. And you know, she was the only girl in an all-boy fantasy. So, and I'm just saying, when you consider it in the context, she was definitely the best looking girl in the movie. Here you go. A guy so good looking he couldn't even show his face. We got Darth Vader. And then, of course, in the background, you got, I guess, another spoiler. You got Palpatine, the Emperor, right? And you got a generic stormtrooper. The only character in all of these books that is not a distinct character, right? So they just put a stormtrooper there as opposed to a distinct character from the lore. So there you go. That's my quick rundown of the Phil Noto covers. I think that's all of them too. I think that's the complete set. Now, if there's one out there I don't know about, please tell me. So, and we'll find it.
Well, a couple more people have joined here, Pub, and some of them are not too happy with you right now.
That happens.
Look who's in here. Our buddies, Scoons Comics, is in here.
Yeah, Scoons with another exciting, oh so thrilling
comic book haul. Yes, love that. Yes. Yeah, love that. Anyway,
I bought a Mexican restaurant today, but it's not as impressive as it sounds.
No, no, and nothing is as impressive as it sounds. I mean, for Scoon Comics, never. You know, you can find an AF-15 for $quarter. That's not as impressive as it sounds. You know. Anyway, and aggressively relaxing, I think, is a little bit miffed with you. I don't know. Maybe.
I can't wait to get to his miffed miff.
He says, "This is blasphemy." Let me give it the correct inflection here, Bub. This is blasphemy.
Yes, nice.
That's pretty much the way he's saying it right there. So anyway, but welcome, guys. Always great to have you here. Whether you're throwing shade at Bub or not, actually, I prefer that. We welcome you here.
Thanks a lot, Roger.
Well, you know, that's what I'm here for. You know, Bub, to keep you on your toes. You know, keep you straight on the straight and narrow. You know, make sure that pride pressure is only as much as Jupiter's gravity. You know,
look at that. Her and the kid. What about when she was the man running a shoe? I remember that. I also remember she had red hair and it was short, and I hated her in short hair. So there's my answer to that one.
Yeah, she was in the Blues Brothers too. She was Belushi's supposed. You know, he left her at the altar. And so she tried to kill him with bazookas and automatic weapons.
I don't remember that. I've only seen that movie maybe twice, and it's been a long time ago.
Oh man, I saw that movie probably like 10 times. You know, on VHS and all that. So yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah. Oh, we got the Mastodon. My buddy Don's here. How you doing? What's new, heavy hitters? Oh, I like you, Don. I like you so much.
Mastodon Comics. Good to have you in here. Here's a question for you, Roger. Are those the only 3 books you bought tonight?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's it.
Really? That's all you've got? That's your whole Star Wars collection?
Yeah. I told you. I mean, listen. I'll tell you a quick story. Right.
Right.
I did.
Hold on. I don't think you can.
Go ahead. Quick story. I did. When Star Wars came out in 1977, they didn't. It came out in May, but not in Miami. It didn't come out till later in the summer. And it was playing at the Miracle Theater and Miracle Mile in Coral Gables. If anybody's familiar with the area, let me know. And there was a line, Bub, that must have been, it went all the way down to Lejeune, all right, which was quite a ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told my brother, you know, who was an older brother, I want to see that movie. He goes, you're crazy. It's, you know. So we came back like 2, 3, 4 days in a row until finally we got in there, you know, because it was a small theater. And so I was, you know, I went to see it probably like the 4th or 5th day I came out in Miami, and I loved it. Obviously, I loved it. But, you know, that was 12-year-old Metarog, you know. But I was never enamored with the series like with the films, like a lot of people bought all the memorabilia and all that stuff. But I do like the movies. I am a fan. I'm just not a fanatic. So I just wanted to give everybody a sense about what I am here. So I did have a few of the 35-cent variants, but again, I didn't really feel I didn't feel a sense of nostalgia for it. So I traded them for other comics, you know. So that's why I do not have a Star Wars run, because I just don't feel that sense of nostalgia that even though I went to see the movies and everything, it just didn't speak to me. You know, I was more of a pure science fiction guy, not space fantasy. So
I can understand that. When I was a kid, I remember, and for those, you know, we'll play another little game of who knows the area, but in downtown Manhattan, there is a theater called the Ziegfeld.
I've heard of it. Yeah,
it's a very old theater, as you can imagine. It's, you know, if you remember the Ziegfeld Follies, if you're familiar with some old theater references. But anyway, I remember when they re-released, in conjunction with the I guess then VHS remastered versions of Star Wars, right? They re-released into the theaters, into select theaters, the original trilogy. And I waited in line at the Ziegfeld to see that with the male members of the family.
Of course.
And I was very young. I was 14, 15 or something. I was probably about 13 at the time. And I was, dressed up in a little Darth Vader outfit and had a lightsaber and everything. And it was great. And people were having lightsaber battles in the aisle. And cool. If any of you know the Ziegfeld, of course, used to be a stage, but they converted it into a movie theater. And so it's the original kind of seats and stuff like that. It's very old timey, kind of like an opera house almost. And then the stage, the whole thing was a movie screen. So it's like double the height. You know, it was like an IMAX screen before there was IMAX. So It was huge. It was like a 3-story screen. And it was just awesome. And to see Star Wars there, then we went back there for the prequels when they ran that. So I got to see a lot of Star Wars in the theater, and it was absolutely fantastic. I don't think I've missed a Star Wars in the theater yet. I think I've seen them all, every incarnation of them, even that goofy cartoon movie they did. I've seen all of those in the theaters when they came out. So that's my start. So for me, they are a little nostalgic.
Even these most recent ones, the last 3 you saw?
Yep. So the last 3 in the theater, not in that theater. I wish. I don't even.
No. I know. Yeah.
It's probably closed down.
I only saw the first 3 in the theaters. By the way, Empire Strikes Back to me is one of the best movies ever. Not Star Wars movies. Period. It's up there to me with Alien, and Aliens. You know, it's just a fabulous movie. But after Return of the Jedi, I never saw another one in the theater. I really just, after that, it kind of like faded for me, you know.
Wow. I mean, there's a lot of not so good movies after that. So I can't hate on anybody for not watching any more than that. When I see people, someone asked this recently, I think it was Perry's Comics. He put up a poll and he said, okay, I'm going to watch the Star Wars movies. In what order should I watch them? I think this is the one that he asked about, or maybe it was Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. But I told him either way that there is no the only way to watch any kind of movies that include prequels and postquels. Is that a thing? I mean, not just the original sequels, but the post-original sequels.
Right.
Oh, goodness. Is to watch them in release order. That's my firm belief. Right. And you guys can start the arguments in the chat if you'd like. Now's the time. Go ahead and battle it out. But I think, oh, wow, drive-in, that'd be nice. I think that you should always watch movies in release order, even when there is prequels, because even during the prequels, they're always making nods and mentions and things like that to things that you should already know. Mm-hmm. So you're going to enjoy the prequels, I think, a lot less, because most of the time you're going to be like, what's going on? What are they talking about? Why was that funny? Like 3 people in the room will laugh and you won't get the joke. And that's not good. Right. And then I think the other problem that you encounter is that Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back has one of the biggest plot twists in movie history for a sequel.
Yep.
And to have that completely diffused all along through the prequels is, I think, just a travesty, and a lot of people would say, well, we already know, the plot twist. It's so ingrained in popular culture, but I don't know. Is it for people who have never seen it and don't know and don't care? They may not really know or catch it.
Yeah, I guess it's possible. I mean, for us, we are obviously pop culture fanatics here, or aficionados, I guess you can say. So for us, it's like, well, obviously you're going to see them in order that they were chronologically released, right? Because otherwise it's. But if you're a newer, or born last 10 years or 15 years, that makes sense, right? But
yes,
man, to me, listen, it's not. To me, I mean, I realize that. Listen, this Star Wars is essentially Akira Kurosawa's The Hidden Fortress. Okay, all the characters come right from that movie. They're just, instead of feudal Japan, they're put into space, and that is a fabulous movie. A fabulous movie. So no wonder that Star Wars is, so has such a rich. It's not all special effects and not all the soap opera elements. It has a really solid storyline. So to me, that when Lucas first wrote it, he wrote, all 9 parts, but it had to be chopped up, and I don't remember exactly why, because it was too long or whatever. But if you had released all 3, instead of the 3 we got, but somehow worked it in, it would have destroyed the theater for any other film that year. It would have absolutely destroyed it. So, I mean, it's a phenomenon, that honestly, I can't think of any franchise which even comes close to it.
Yeah, I agree. And a comment was made also about Disney taking it over. Honestly, they couldn't have been in worse hands than in the hands of the original creator for the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then all those constant remakes. Like, I have the ones, my favorite ones that I watch are the original trilogy, what they call despecialized edition. Mm-hmm. So that has removed all the specializations that Lucas did over and over again, which you can't even get these days on Blu-ray or anything. So I have them on Blu-ray as despecialized. So it takes away all that and goes back to the original source film as much as possible and recreates the film from the original, the most original sources that we have, right, that are out there in the industry. And it is absolutely phenomenal and much better than any redone version of those movies. The originals, to me, really are the best.
Yeah, agreed. So
by far. Yeah, and George Lucas didn't know what the heck to do with them. I think when it came to the prequels, he got too much in his own head and wanted to build out more lore and reclaim the lore from things like Marvel, who was making their own stories at that point. He wanted to reclaim the lore and really just there are parts of it that are good, and then there's the large majority for me that are not.
Yeah, so. I agree. What's amazing to me, if you look, I mean, I looked at the history of this, and that it was he tried to sell it to various studios, and they were like, not interested. This is junk. This has been done. This is Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon. And then even when it came out, it only came out like in 40 theaters or something, because even the theaters, the Guild didn't, whatever the organization that distributes it didn't.
The Lollipop Guild, you're right. The Lollipop.
They didn't have any faith in the film, had no faith in this film. So it just tells you that, honestly, that any film out there that may get the kibosh, Lucas just happened to have the wherewithal to push it. But imagine if he had given up after the first 2 or 3 studios, we'd have nothing. We have none of this. We'd be Star Trek fans, because that would be, the closest kind of, the closest kind of fanatic fan base would be, I think, Star Trek. But that was from so far back, from the 60s.
They invented fandom, really.
Yeah. But so it was this close, guys, this close to never coming to fruition. So I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but I am glad it's here because it is incredibly entertaining stuff.
Good stuff. Here, let's show some more books. These people love books. So I'm told. Here's Darth Vader, number 20.
Windu, Area 51. Luke was originally going to be Mace Windu.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh no, Star Killer or something like that, right? Is that what you're talking? Star Killer, something like that. Yeah. Luke was originally supposed to be called Mace Windu, and then they changed it to Star Killer or something, and then Luke, and then Skywalker. But yeah, it's really interesting stuff. If you ever want to get into the original, what he originally wrote, it's really interesting stuff to see how it really progressed over the couple of years that he was selling it.
That's wild. And they've included canon and uncanonized some things and retconned other things. They really like playing with the universe in a whole, which is so funny because it just seems like because it's space, you really didn't have to do that. You could tell a million stories that never crossed each other. It's space. Like it goes on forever, you know, but instead they're like, no. These 4 people are everywhere at all times and have to be involved in every story. You're like, I don't think you had to do that. If you're going to create a universe, you really don't need to keep using the same characters over and over again. You can find new characters, which they're doing more now, I think. Yeah. So here's a second printing variant of Darth Vader number 20, Mark Brooks variant. I just really like that one.
Yeah,
I think
cool.
Palpatine looks extra sinister there.
Yeah, I like that Force lightning. That's cool.
Yeah, and all the red guard kind of in the background.
Yeah, Crimson Guard. Yeah.
Crimson Guard. That's right.
Yeah,
that was the one toy that I always wanted when I was a kid. I think it was a mail away or something like that. I never did get it. Was a Crimson Guard. Here's some Adam Hughes work. There's Star Wars Rebel Heist number 1. We'll show these pretty quick because he did 4 of them. So
yeah, that looks like Adam Hughes pose to me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, constantly. Yeah, the Matrix pose. Here's number 2 with Leia. I really like the backgrounds on this one. I like the stormtroopers. I think they're well done. There's some Han eyes, the dropped cuffs, ship in the background. I think it's a frigate. Is that what the frigate? Yeah, that's a frigate.
It's a frigate.
It's a frigate. And please, Roger, give me your impression of this has been requested many times. I want to hear your impression of
oh man, how do you do that? I don't know how to do that, man. I don't know how to do that, man.
That's exactly what we were looking for.
I don't know. I don't know how to, my voice is not deep enough for that.
You did that once in a stream, almost completely unrelated.
Yeah, I know.
And we had nothing but requests for more.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they were knocking down your door asking for that one. Oh, man. Hello? Hello? Bub? Am I still on? Hello?
I knocked myself out of the stream.
There he is. Okay. I was like, what happened? What
happened was I got a new mouse. And I just put it in today. And apparently it has extra buttons on it. Here, I'll show it. It has these extra buttons on the side here.
Uh-huh.
And if you push them, they change your browser, like they go forward and backwards. So
okay.
I accidentally clicked it, and it's like pressing back on the browser, and so StreamYard closed down.
Look at these guys in the chat. These guys have no mercy, you know.
Oh,
you are Metarog, Vamp Raj Vamp. These guys. Somebody beamed up Bub.
Yeah, that's about right.
But Bub was doing a show from the Death Star. So that was before Luke shot those things into the little exhaust port.
Oh man, I've messed up, didn't I? Sorry, everybody.
Got force choked. Oh, these guys, man. That's why we got the best chat in the business. These guys do not give us a break, and we love it.
No chill from the chat, that's for sure.
Oh man.
Thank you all for joining us. Sorry about that. We'll get it worked out eventually. Probably not.
Orson Welles.
Man. All right. So what do we got? What else? You got nothing to show, Roger. What are you doing?
No, man. Oh, well, hold on. I got this Howard the Duck right here. Hold on. I got some video games too. Howard, this is what I think one of the very first homage covers. You know, to you can tell it's kind of like here, right? Yeah. You see the Howard the Duck is Luke Skywalker. You got Leia on the wrong side, but then you have Vader over here instead of, you got that gas mask guy, and then look what it says over here. Please don't litter. And that's a R2-D2, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'd say so. He's a trash can.
And then you have Man Thing over there, which is like has no analogy over here. But those are the characters, and of course there you got Bang. Anyway, so it's just a parody kind of cover, but I thought it was kind of cool. That's from 1978, so it came like about a year after the movie.
That's pretty close, really, for parodies.
Yeah.
One of the prequels was Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. Yeah. Oh man, that was good. Good.
Yep. Lone Star. I still say it every time I get a package from mycomicshop.com, right? Mm-hmm. Which is technically Lone Star Comics, right?
Yep.
And every time it comes, the return label always says Lone Star. That's all it says. So it comes in, and my family always wonders where all these packages are coming from. And I can't claim that they're all AOKs from Steve Whiting. So he's actually never sent me an AOK, but I still claim like, hey, this was a free book, from Steve. What are you doing? Everybody says it. So instead, I say, they say, where'd that come from? So then I read the label and I say, it came from Lone Star, Lone Star. Oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Was that Rick Moranis says, was it Dark Helmet?
Yeah, Dark Helmet.
Dark Helmet.
So funny.
Yeah. I like the, they said, what speed? We're going ludicrous speed.
Yeah.
What the heck is that?
It was good stuff, man. I love it.
Oh man, that was funny.
Cracked had Star Wars parodies. That's right. I do remember that. And Barf, played by John Candy, right?
By John Candy. Yep. Hey, Johnny Five Alive is in here. How you doing, Johnny?
Hey, Johnny Five Alive.
Another big mystery unboxer in the community.
I like that. J5. He's got. I'm a big Short Circuit fan. I was going to be having. We're going to get a chance to meet everybody. Well, not everybody, but it was going to be Steve Guttenberg and Ali Sheedy were going to be at a con near me this summer.
Cool.
And they're going to do like a little Short Circuit panel and reunion and stuff. And of course, it got canceled. So I have to wait till next year. But that gives me another year to buy whatever memorabilia I want them to sign. And I really just probably want a picture with both of them. But I want to be able to hold like a replica of Johnny Five when I do it. Mm-hmm. Cool. And those things go for like $700. So I'm glad I have another year to work my way up towards that.
Wow. And what about the other guy, I think he was playing like an Indian.
Richard Stevens.
Oh, I love that guy. He's so funny.
He was funny in that. I don't think he was going to be at the convention. Of course, he gets a lot of hate for that role. So maybe he skips.
I thought it was brilliant. Like he always put the adjectives after the verbs and these
nouns, days people are awful sensitive. First edition comics. What's going on, Paul? Good to see you. I forgot to show this one. This is another Adam Hughes one from that row, the fourth one. I guess I just forgot to throw it up there.
Cool.
Here's I think I'm trying to think who that is. It kind of looks like Mark Brooks. It is Mark Brooks.
Good squeal there.
So Star Wars, Vader down.
Oh, that's nice. That's
Mark Brooks. This is the trade.
That's well done. That is well done. Yeah.
I really like that.
That is well done. I like when they sort of meld like that and almost like a tower format.
Yeah.
It's just cool because you see the main players. There's nobody really more in front than anybody else. It's really cool. Really cool. I like it.
I like it. Plus, it's a kind of a Hildebrandt-esque
Yeah, that's right. It is.
To me, it is.
Yeah, it does have that texture about it. I have to admit. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, anytime I see that pyramid format too, like you were mentioning, the tower, that always reminds me of the Hildebrandt brothers.
Yeah,
good one. For those of you who don't know, those are the artists who did Greg, and I forget his brother's name. Do you remember his brother's name? Hildebrandt. Anytime Roger gasps like that, he's not going to come up with the answer.
Yeah, I don't remember. We just called them the Hildebrandt brothers, so I didn't even know about the Greg. So
yeah. So look, see, Roger looks at that and he goes, "Aw," and the rest of us look at that and go, "Ugh." That's how you know he's pure of heart, So we have the Hildebrandt brothers did the original posters for Star Wars, the movie posters, iconic movie posters, and they did a lot of movie posters,
lots of movie posters, and lots of card sets and prints. All kinds of
and
stuff,
comic covers. And comic covers,
not all that many, but they did some. Yeah.
Nope, they get pulled in now every now and then for a variant, so they'll do a couple of variants every now and then.
Okay.
Store exclusives, things like that. So really enjoy that. So that reminds me of that. Anyway, we'll go back to the two of us. What do we got in here? Greg and Tim. So Tim Hildebrandt, Greg Hildebrandt, and Tim Hildebrandt. And we've got Heroes from Heroes to Icon saying that Vader Down is that fire. So they say that's a pretty good book. I'm glad.
That's what that means. Okay. Oh, look at Jambo. He says, "Hope the fourth is with my wife's meatloaf. Getting ready to go eat."
Yes.
Okay, Jambo. Are you inviting us over, buddy? Because I'm there.
I think that's his way of saying he's not going to make it for the rest of this show.
Yeah, that's his way to bow out a little bit.
I have to send him
listen, who can blame him?
Oh yeah. I have to send him a text message if you make any more great impressions of Star Wars characters.
Oh yeah.
I'd hate for him to miss it. So
yeah.
So that's what we got going on. I don't know what else to show. Here's a Mandalorian book for those of you who dem dare likes the Mandalorian. It's a poster book, but it drives me crazy because even though this page is fine, all the other pages are they're in wraps. So you have to take the staples out in order to appreciate the full thing. So that's not cool. Drives me insane.
Yeah,
that would be a nice two-piece, but you can't see it. The rest of that missing.
Yeah, the format there let you down. That binding should have been an open binding.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now, in order to see it all, look at that. What the heck's going on there? And then they double printed them. So even if you liked it and wanted to hang every single one of them, you can't because the backside is something else. So look at that. Arse. That's what it says. Arse. I need to clean that.
Arse.
Look at that. It's messed up. I need to clean my dirty arse. Okay.
Dirty arse. You dirty arse.
You dirty arse.
Oh man.
Fun stuff. What else we got? Let's see. People in the chat. Roger, do Jar Jar impression.
Jar Jar. Boy, Jar Jar. How does Jar Jar go again? I didn't see too many of those movies, how does that go? Me said just boosting up to see you like this mode, Luke.
That's nice. We like that, Roger. Please never do that again. We appreciate that.
All right.
And today on Yoda's back, and Yoda whispers to Luke, "Not my lightsaber in your back, that is." Aww. And you're supposed to go, aww.
Oh, Steve. Now, Steve is, he's a Disney guy, so we have to be careful about talking about those last 3 movies,
I liked them. Not all of them. I thought that the Force Awakens was good. I enjoyed that. I didn't see anything wrong. I liked the new characters. I liked where it went. I had nothing wrong. Nothing was wrong with Force Awakens for me. The second one's pretty rough. It's that one's a fail. There's almost no redeemable qualities about. I don't even remember the name of it. The Force
Last Jedi.
No, the Force Unleashed. No, that's a video game. Yeah, the Last Jedi. That's right.
Last Jedi. Yeah, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. Yeah.
Imprisonment of the Jaywalker. Yeah.
Yeah. It tells you a lot when we can't even remember the titles.
I know. That tells you a lot.
Good.
We're going to watch that again when we get off the feed tonight. I'm going to go watch that as a family. We're going to watch that one. But that one's, I really liked that one. I thought that was in my top 3 Star Wars movies, probably.
Thank you, Pope. Thank you very much, Pope.
What's he saying? I missed it.
He said, Roger, that was better than On My Best. Thank you very much.
That may not be saying much, so
no, it's not saying much, I guess. But,
so we'll see how it goes. But I think that thank you, Adrian. Thanks for showing up, Panda. Appreciate you.
Take care, man.
I think that for me, the last one was very good. I enjoyed it. I thought it wrapped up the whole thing very well and made me feel like they don't need another one, because I was hoping that they wouldn't give us some new things to wonder about and new cliffhangers. I was like, nope, I don't care if it's not a perfect wrap up, just wrap it up, you know?
Right. Well, I think that's what they did. It looks to me like somebody kind of had that, hey, let's not leave any loose ends here. Let's, even though some things seem inconsistent to me from the previous movies, but again, I didn't pay that much attention, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But like Palpatine, where did he come from? I mean, they had there was no portent whatsoever, and then all of a sudden, there he is in some kind of, I don't know, life support system, whatever that was.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of things were kind of forced, or maybe there was like
oh, sorry.
Well, yeah, but yeah, I do believe, I think that it was, it wrapped it up in a nice little tight bow, even though it was, there was a lot of pains to get there. Yeah, I'm glad. I think that's it. I think this should be the end. I mean, maybe they can expand it in other ways, but this particular lore with Luke and that space opera part, I think it's run its course for sure.
Yep, it's over. And the Mandalorian restored my faith in the property at large. So Mandalorian for me, and that's a totally Disney done production, from start to finish, and I think it's fantastic. And can't wait for season 2. And even if season 2 stinks, it's still going to be good. Like, they can't take away how good season 1 was. So that's how I feel about that. Last 3 made no sense. Darth Maul can survive, so can Palpatine. That's true.
14 more in the works. No, please say no.
14 in the works.
No, that can't be. No way.
Well, 14 Star Wars properties movies, maybe. Yeah. Like, if you count Solo, I mean, I don't count that. Yeah. To me, that's its own thing. I mean, yes, I guess it's technically a prequel of sorts, but it doesn't really factor into the main story. I don't know. It's kind of, if you ever wondered where Han Solo got his belt, his hat, and his comb, then okay. That's kind of where that movie went.
Yeah. I mean, I think, what they should do, if they're going to do that, is divorce themselves from this particular storyline. Just like you said, The Mandalorian, now it's getting into a little bit of a different kind of realm of Star Wars. It's in the same universe, but it's kind of a little separate. I mean, obviously it has ties to it, but it's kind of separate. Let's go down another path. I think sometimes you're squeezing so hard to get something out of a property that there's nothing left. It's like an orange that's all mushed. And I think honestly they really mushed this a little too much as it is. So yeah, let's go somewhere else. Let's get some creative juices and let's start another kind of franchise that people are going to be excited about, and not try to recycle something that is now 40 years, whatever it is, old, 30 something.
Yeah, plus you're making movies. Who are you making these movies and shows for? Once upon a time they were largely for young boys or teens or whatever, And so to keep going back to that, you're asking someone to remain a fan of a property that has tons of different offshoots and replications and applications and all kinds of stuff. You ask them to be a fan for 40 years, it's going to be pretty hard to keep their attention, Yeah. So I don't really, people are like, oh, they're letting down the fans. I'm like, the fans are old enough to find something else to watch. Like, you have to keep pleasing the same group of people? No, you can please new people.
Yeah,
so
everything runs its course. Everything runs its course. It's not, you're not, I mean, again, I'm not a fanatic to the point that so many are. So I'm speaking from my perspective, right? But so my perspective, sometimes it gets disrespectful and it gets just ridiculous when things are so. Essentially, what you get to the point where you're no longer even recognize the property, and that's kind of where I got to on the last three movies. They were barely if you look at the first three, well, we're talking about the first three of the original trilogy, right? And you look at the last three, they're almost not recognizable. They went so far. I mean, I like that they had a new, Rey and Finn, right, and the other guy with the little mustache, whatever the guy. Yeah, all that stuff. But they still are like grasping to those first three for those plot lines. Palpatine died in Return of the Jedi, as far as I'm concerned. He died. That was it. It cheapens the sacrifice of Vader, of Anakin Skywalker, because now he comes back. So to me, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. That you're really betraying almost the franchise when you go and you go to that extreme to just squeeze out the last little drop. Let's move on. Let's go. You have a good idea here. You have a universe. Let's expand the universe. Let's not just stay in one little galaxy.
Yeah, I agree. And that's kind of what the Mandalorian does, and that's one of the reasons I appreciate it. And even Rogue One to some extent does that, but it's definitely more of a prequel. It's like the last prequel, so hopefully.
Yeah.
But I actually like Rogue One a lot. I think it has one or two things that really bug me about it, namely CGI. But other than that, it's absolutely almost a perfect movie to me, and it was done really, really, really well for my taste, and ranks up there as in my top probably 4 Star Wars movies. So I really like it.
Again, because we, except for just a few scenes, we got a whole new cast of characters.
Yeah.
That again had ties to the story, but it was really their own little realm, their own little niche. It had to do with Death Star. It had to do with how the plans got to Leia, and how that was clever. That was cool. It had a good segue to the new movies, but it was its own little realm, and I think that is what made it so. To me, it's much better than these last three. I mean, like heads over heels, much better.
Yeah.
Because again, you had a whole new territory, except for those little segues between, that we're talking about. But it was clever how they tied those in, and we never knew those facts. So the fact that they did that for us, I think, was a brilliant idea. But now that was a one-shot deal. Now they got to expand out further than what they have as far as the last three being over. Yeah.
I think so. And I'm looking forward to it. And I'm also looking forward to not caring if it sucks. Because if it sucks, it sucks. So what? Oh well. There'll be another movie tomorrow. Marvel's still making other movies, and if I really want to slim it, there's always a couple of DC movies on the slate. So we can do that too. Here's some modern books. I know, Roger, you're a big modern collector.
Oh yeah, that's me. I'm all about the 21st century books.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 21st century man we've got right here.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So these
I don't live in the past.
No,
not me.
Here's the one that was our thumbnail for today. So that's
probe droid or whatever.
Yep, probe droid. These are the they were doing these covers. I say they were doing it because comics just ceased while I was collecting these. So they're the 40th anniversary of the Empire Strikes Back cover set. And I kept calling them trading card variants, but I guess they're not. They're just 40th Empire Strikes Back anniversary, but they still remind me of old trading cards. So, and here is the second one of the set. Commander Skywalker, it says. Here is the third one with him in the cave. And I think they're supposed to follow along the plot line of the Empire Strikes Back as they go. So there's the first time Han Solo wields a lightsaber. Maybe the only time. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's when he splits open the, was it Tauntaun?
Yeah. And I thought they smelled bad on the
outside. Yeah.
And there's number 4. Here's number 5. Here's some more friggin' frigates. and I don't know what that. I guess a Star Destroyer, an X-wing, and I don't know what those little lumps of crap are. They look like a whale.
They are mussels. They're mussel ships.
Yeah, it looks like. And then here is.
I'm sure somebody will correct us. Somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you somebody's a Star Wars nerd in here.
Oh yeah, it's going on for real. It'll be in the comments for the 7 people that watch this show on the replay. They'll be tore up.
Oh, they're talking about black. They're talking about somebody was talking about a Black Hole remake. You know, remember that Disney movie, The Black Hole? I don't know if you remember that.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Yeah, it had a little robot. What was his name? Not Vixen. What was the little robot's name? Victor or something? And
it'll be a while till they can answer that. So
yeah, I'm sure they'll answer that. But yeah, that's that. Now you're going way back. That was, I think, prior to Star Wars. I'm pretty sure. So anyway, it was a movie that, you know, it was set in space and all that. So yeah.
Look at that joke. That's pretty good. What's the internal temperature of a tauntaun? Lukewarm.
Oh, Steve, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
one.
And so there's
Vincent. It was Vincent. Vincent was the name of the robot. Vincent. There it is. Vincent. Yes, Vincent. Old Bob and Vincent. Well, Bob was the one that they found there. It was all beat up. Yeah. Go ahead.
Nice. And here's the last one that they came out with until the hiatus is over. So we're still on the Battle of Hoth. So there's 36 of these covers. So I guess they did me a favor by stopping at 7 for now. But I've already bought a binder to put them in because they're pure cover buys.
How many are there?
36. There's going to be. So far, I have 7.
Man. Oh, but they're all different comic books.
Yeah, they range from Star Wars, Bounty Hunters, Darth Vader, and I think that's it so far.
Okay, so they just rotate between the 3 or 4 titles.
So far, because it started off in one title, then expanded. So hopefully they won't keep going because I think there's like a Kylo Ren book out there. They may throw one of the covers at them. So we'll have to see. But anyway, that's my books. Those are my Star Wars books.
Cool.
That's it. I'm done.
Okay, so Black Hole was 1979. It was not before Star Wars. Okay, all right.
Okay, there you go.
I knew it was, you know, old. I mean, I think it was Yvette Mimieux was in it, which I had a big crush on back then, because she was in the Time Machine, you know.
Oh yeah,
the original Time Machine. And yeah, the ship was the Palomino, I do believe, and Maximilian was the.
Isn't the Palomino a horse?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah. Very good. And what was the name of the bad guy? Doctor, Professor, somebody with a beard. I forgot what his name was.
I think that's what his name was. Dr. Professor.
Yeah. It was a guy with a beard. I remember that. And he was, and yeah, it was a cool movie, actually. I wouldn't mind seeing a part 2 about that. Although they went through the black hole, I guess, so it's kind of over there. But anyway.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys this, though. But this is not a Star Wars video game, but it's kind of like, I think, based on it, because it's kind of like a grill shooter kind of thing, you know, and you have to put in commands. Let me show you and this came out in 81, 82, and it's not Star Wars, it's Star Raiders.
Oh my God, I hated that game. I had that game, and didn't it come with a pad?
Yeah, I'll show you the pad in a minute. Yeah,
it had the pad, and it had like things that you would slide over the top of it, and it had buttons.
Yeah, overlays. Yeah,
it sucked. God, that game's terrible. Yes, that's it. And then it had overlays you put over the button, and they I don't know. I was young. So
you were young. I was older, but still, I agree. I did not like it. It was too tough to play.
I couldn't understand it. It was the hardest thing ever.
It was very tough.
And because it had the extra, you know, accessories, I was always a sucker for that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
man, I had to have it, you know?
Yeah.
Had to have it. And then boy, was it impossible to play. And every now and then, because you know, games, people are spoiled these days to games. First of all, they're very easy compared to the way they used to be, right?
Oh yeah. You had to have like a degree in video games to figure these things out.
And most of us, unless you were like, you know, very well off or your parents were really kind to you, most of us only had like 2 or 3 games per system. Like, it's not like we were rolling in games, you know. Yeah. You have a game, you trade it with your friend when you finish playing it, or you couldn't beat it, and you trade games kind of, and sometimes you never got them back. But
there's a little overlay where you.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, it was a tough game. That's true.
I
can't find. I don't know what happened to my overlay. I have it somewhere. Oh, I probably have it with my Atari. Yeah, but yeah, it was tough. But to me, that was kind of like one of those that it was kind of loosely based on Star Wars. They probably didn't have the license yet.
Yeah.
And so they said, oh, we'll make something where they shoot stuff in space. That kind of thing. Just like when they were in the Millennium Falcon and they had that rotating, that turret.
Oh yeah,
same kind of thing.
Yeah, it was just things were different then, harder games, and somebody's saying no save points. Yeah, there's no checkpoints, no save points, no continue, restart with more lives. There's nothing. There wasn't even you couldn't even turn it off. Like you couldn't do anything. There was some of those games
pause. There was no pause.
Yeah, some of them didn't have pause. Yeah. So super hard.
Yeah. So the earlier ones, none of them, I don't believe, had pause. I think some of the later ones did have it, where you could pause it. The Intellivision, a lot of those did have pause, and that was a game changer because you could actually go to the bathroom.
Well, I mean, you could anywhere where you were, but if you were home alone,
but it was messy.
Yeah,
it was really messy when you went to the bathroom when you're playing video games. Like Asteroids was one of those.
If you got Asteroids, you just go to the bathroom. The game will have to wait.
You have to have various ships, there, because you're going to get destroyed a few while you run to the bathroom. Hopefully your system is right by the bathroom, so you can continue on. So anyway, those were the days, Bub. Back then you had to really, video games was not like a sedentary sport, You had to really work at it. You were sweating because you had to pump the joystick and you had the button and you were throwing stuff at the screen, when you would die,
Yeah, absolutely.
You got exercise.
Controllers died a lot. Throw them at the ground and you get in trouble from your parents and they'd hear you throwing and they go, what was that noise? Nothing.
No, nothing. And that it was definitely not me throwing my Atari joystick at that TV and breaking it. It was not that.
Nope, that was not that. I got to go down to the yard sale and see if I can find another one.
Yeah, or I got to go down to Billy's house and borrow his to,
Bad stuff, man. Yeah, Battlefront on PS2, yes, you can actually get that now on Steam. The original Battlefront games. From the PlayStation 2. That's good stuff. I've been playing some of the on the EA Electronic Arts game company. Yeah. They have the Star Wars license right now, so there's a lot of good ones there you can play. I'm playing through the campaign mode of Battlefronts 2, the new edition of Battlefronts 2. So that's a lot of fun too. Pump the joysticks. Well, there we go. Roger, what do you think? Oh, look at that. Rebel Assault 2. I played that game till my fingers bled.
Mine are still bleeding.
I bought a flight stick for that. Remember the old flight station 5 for the computer? I had a flight stick. I had a really cool one until computers got better than the joystick. It didn't work anymore, right?
Yeah.
But this is before plug and play. This is when everything came with a disc and you'd have to load the drivers,
Yeah, this one had the 2 discs, which you had more. It was a longer game because you could switch the discs. After that intermission part, you could switch the disc.
That's on CDs instead of DVDs back then.
Yeah, I was CDs. Yeah,
and they were. So I had this flight stick that had the joystick on one side, and then it had a detachable gamepad from the joystick. It disconnected. And so all the buttons stayed on there, and you had like your digital, directionals, and you had the flight stick, and then you could push a button, and the whole thing would detach and turn into a handheld gamepad. I loved it. It had a throttle and everything. Oh, it was fantastic. Favorite joystick I've ever owned. And then, of course, it quit working with the new computers and new programs wouldn't support it. So great.
You had some good stuff. I never had that. I had to play it with the the regular old patty thing.
Oh yeah, well, that's fun.
That's why my thumbs are literally they're just raw when you play that thing because you're,
If I had all the money I spent on gaming stuff when I was a kid, and trading cards, and invested all that in comics, I don't know. I'd probably have more comics, but I don't mind because a lot of those old games you can play them now. on computers and things and emulators and stuff like that. So it's all good. I haven't missed anything. So, but I don't have any of that old stuff. I got rid of that a long time ago.
Well, I still have my original. Well, I don't have my original 2600, but I found the same one, the Heavy Sixer, in a garage sale when I lived in Florida a few years back. And
nice.
It was like exactly just like my, well, they all look, I guess, exactly alike. But it was so great to find that because it was like $10, and of course I had to refurbish it and luckily I do that because it was a mess. You can tell somebody put this up in their attic. And it had been up there, 30 years,
Right.
But once I got it to work, the nostalgia wave just kept flowing right through me. I played I did play Star Raiders, but that was like, it's bad. But Centipede and Defender.
Oh yeah.
Combat. I played those probably all night. Don't tell the wife. Don't tell the wife.
Oh yeah. I still miss those joysticks and the flight games. That was some of the most fun stuff. I remember. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I know. Sticks and
mud.
Sticks and mud.
Hey, we did what we had to do, Jackson. We had to do what we had to do.
When I remember. I'm trying to remember the name of the store. I think it was. What were some of the names of the computer stores back in the day?
Oh, let's see. They had Electronics Boutique.
Yeah, that was a game store.
Babbage's.
Yeah, that was a game store too.
KB's, Lionel Play World.
Yeah, those are toy stores. I'm talking about computer stores.
Computer stores. Oh, you had the Radio Shacks.
Yeah.
You had.
What I'm thinking of. If you say it, I'll remember it. It was a big chain of computer stores, big like giant stores, the size of Of course, I was a kid, so they probably looked a little bigger. Not like I started with a C. CompUSA.
CompUSA, yeah.
So EB Games, which I think in Canada they still go by EB Games. They don't go by GameStop. Babbage's, as I recall, there was Babbage's, and then EB Games bought Babbage's, and then GameStop bought EB Games. But I think in Canada they still call them EB Games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. Like I think somebody did a video that in Canada, and that I seem to recall that's true. That's what they're still up over there. They still have. I think they still have Toys R Us in Canada, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so
I think so. That's where all the discount Star Wars toys are at.
CompUSA. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, CompUSA, and I remember CompUSA used to have these huge walls of computers, and they would have game stations set up with different controllers and joysticks and flight sticks for the games, and that's where I first saw Rebel Assault 2 set up at a game station with a flight stick, and I couldn't afford the flight stick that they were trying to sell. I'm sure it was IBM or whatever at the time. I'm like, I can't pay for that, but eventually I found that cool flight stick, and I used to like go to Caldors. I don't know if you guys had that.
I've heard of it, but no, we didn't have that. No.
There was a place called Odd Job, which was kind of like the discount store that had it's kind of like a Big Lots is now, or if you guys have those.
Yeah, we did,
So it was an Odd Job, and they used to always get electronics there, and I would scour. That's how I would get a lot of my games and a lot of stuff and a lot of my controllers. Is I would scour those big box discount stores and just get everything I could. So, man. Yeah, eBay, not eBay.
No, not eBay. eBay, yeah. The one place we had that's kind of like that, we had a Jefferson Ward, like outlet kind of thing, and like when the regular stores couldn't sell them, they would put them in this Jefferson Montgomery Ward, whatever it was, and that there you could get like super cheap, like all the, you could get like video games and toys like half to 75% off. So I got a lot of my stuff there, I remember, because it was super cheap. Even though the games were not like top shelf games, hey, it was a game.
Absolutely.
We didn't care. We had a new game. That's all you cared about.
That's right. And Scott's saying Odd Lots. That was just the Big Lots. Before Odd Lots, it was Odd Job, and I think, and it was like a dude with a cane and like a bowler hat. And it was named.
You sure it's not Monopoly?
I'm sure it might have been a Bond bill.
No, it was Top Hat with a Monopoly anyway.
Yeah,
not a bowler.
But it was Odd Job.
Odd Job.
They had all that stuff. Then Odd Jobs went away, and Odd Lots came I think Odd Lots might have bought them out. But they were the same type of thing, you know, where you picked up stuff that the big box stores couldn't sell, overstock kind of places, and you know, old stock, new old stock. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Yeah, that was good stuff. Really good stuff.
All right, Roger. What do you think? Should we let all these fine people off the hook so they can play?
I think we've wasted an hour and 15 minutes of their life, and I think that's enough.
All right. Fair enough. Luke doesn't agree, but we'll get it. Hopefully, maybe we'll have Steve Whiting back next week.
I hope so.
If he can get his technical difficulties worked out. I think Wonder Woman has to make it, even if it's a Star Wars show. Wonder Woman has to make an appearance on every episode of the No Faces Comic Chat.
I was just thinking, man, we got through this whole thing without that weird twerking one with the superheroes and the Wonder Woman, and I was like, I'm not going to go there because I don't want, like you let sleeping dragons lie, right? But apparently he woke up anyway.
Well, we got to have Wonder Woman. I'll let everybody else stay out, but Wonder Woman's got to be on there.
Thanks, Steve. All right, guys. Thanks, Steve. Good to have you here, man.
Thank you all for being here. Everybody who we didn't get to shout out earlier, we thank you for being here and for staying or for going. Either way, we'll catch you next week on the No Faces Comic Chat. Roger, you got anything coming up on your big Chanel?
Yeah, tomorrow I get the last part of my She-Hulk little retrospective that I'm doing, and roundup on Thursday. Who knows if I'll come up with something on the weekend, and hopefully we can get together with DS sometime. Bub, you've been promising
I know
that we get together with DS, even if it's just like a little bit, just so we can hang out together.
And I've had a killer week. It's been super busy.
Oh, I can imagine. And of course let's not mention that you're about 30 subs away from 1,000 here. So
that's great. And you guys want to sub me up? I'll take all the subs you got. But it's funny to me how sometimes I'll see somebody will have 2,000 subs, and then they put out a video and it's got like 75 views, and four comments.
No. The only reason I tell you, the only reason not the only reason, it's an honor that so many people are subscribed to us, right, Bub? It is,
right?
I consider it an honor. But another thing is that at that point you get the community tab, and you can also go live on mobile if you so wish. Like if you want to go on location and things like that.
I probably won't do that. The only thing I'm looking forward to is a community tab, because I've noticed that it's a great way to help other channels show off what they've got.
Correct.
So because you can post a link to another channel and show that off, and that I'm really looking forward to.
Correct.
So
that's why I want. That's why I'd like you to get there, because that's sort of a nice perk. Really, it is a nice perk to have. Like when I go at Graders Notes, I put there in the community tab. Or if last time the show, we had to postpone it, I put it on there. So at least you can communicate without having to make a video, and I think that's a pretty good dynamic.
I like that a lot. And honestly, I'm not going to monetize the channel.
No, me either.
Excessively in any way. In fact, I've done the opposite. Like on BUB'S Comics, you don't even have tracking. I disabled all the tracking features on the channel too. So Google doesn't even know what you're watching. There's no targeted ads on this channel.
Right.
So that's all disabled. So that pretty much kills my monetization ability. Throws it right under the dirt, which is fine. Now, if we get the super chat, I thought for the No Faces Comic Chat, that would be kind of cool if people wanted to throw $2 so that we have to say whatever they'd ask us to say.
Yep.
That would be kind of cool, because I did switch to the paid version of StreamYard. So now I have a financial investment in this channel, but I also use it for church, so it's not too bad. So I'm double dipping on it.
Yeah, I get you. I guess. Oh, that's cool. I guess that's cool. I mean,
during the virus stuff, we weren't having church,
Right.
So they were kind of doing these Facebook Live videos, and they were throwing it around to different people, and it was really sloppy, and you didn't know who was coming on next. Somebody would sing a praise and worship song, and they would scoot over somebody else. So it was just terrible.
I know.
So I offered to use my StreamYard account to produce the church services. So I produce services on Wednesday night and Sunday morning now for the church while we're not having church. So
nice.
Yeah, nice. When everybody gets you their stuff 2 minutes before it's time to go on, it's great. You gotta, I mean, it was about 5 minutes after I volunteered that I had that, service regret, I think they call it.
No good deed goes unpunished, Bub. No good deed goes unpunished.
Man, it's a headache.
That's just the way it is.
You know you're serving when it hurts.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I've been seeing church on Facebook because my wife has it, and it's not the same experience for sure.
No.
But I'm not going to complain, because this is a situation where a lot of people have it a lot worse than we do. So I'm not complaining one little bit.
Yep, I agree. And anytime you can help, that's always something extra,
True, absolutely true.
Good All right, I'm going to hop off here. Roger, you can keep going if you want.
No, I got to park the dog, as you know. So
all right, you got anything going on your channel? You didn't answer that.
Yeah. I said tomorrow I got the She-Hulk thing.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah, I glossed over that. Sorry.
And then I just said, if we can get DS together with DS and you and me during the week, at least a little bit, that would be great. Because
sounds like fun.
I miss him to death.
I do too, but you can always catch him on every other channel at every other time of the day. So he's
yep.
Because at night he gets his computer back, so he can do what he wants, but he's locked out.
No, it's not the same thing without the three of us together.
No, I know it's not. It never is. I agree. My channel, I don't have anything else going. Come on, I don't have anything else going on. More haul videos. I put that review up today. I was pretty happy with that. It was really long, but I figured it's got to be better than making people sit through 3 separate videos of a review. So I just mashed it all together and put it. My original intent was 3 separate videos, about 12 minutes a piece. And I was like, instead of doing that, let's just throw it all in together and get rid of it. So I did that, and then don't have any hauls. I'm all out of books. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting week or so on BUB'S Comics. I might finally get to some of my restoration projects I've been looking to do and a couple other things. So it's going to be interesting. So
Sounds good.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I love your restoration. I mean, I think those are some of your most interesting videos, honestly. So I'm all in.
I've got a couple of Daredevil comics I need to marry together and a couple other things going on. So should be fun. Fun.
All right. I look forward to it.
Golden Guys on Tuesday says to catch DS.
That's
if you
DS.
Yeah.
You
want to listen to 3 droll people and you go over there. Sometimes
Bob.
4. Hey, sometimes 4. I don't know. What?
Yeah, now they have the Golden Age Guru in there, which is another scintillating personality.
There you go. I tell you, when you get once you get Knights of Old in there too, you know how he is.
Oh, I love Mike. I love Mike. I love him. I love him to death.
Melted butter.
I love him.
He's got a new video out too. You got to check it out. So
yeah, that's right. He actually sent me a link, and I forgot to see it. I've been busy too over here, so yeah, I'll go check that out.
So we'll just run right over and get that done as soon as you can. Okay.
Oh yeah, of course.
You're welcome, everybody. All right, we'll catch you next week on BUB'S Comics. Same bat time, same bat channel for the return of a non-Star Wars episode, more than likely. We'll catch you next week. Remember to read a comic and don't apologize for the glare, and be blessed and be back.
Ooh,
there you go.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Bye-bye.